everywhere. Let it ring around the world and never, never cease. So sing a song, for women everywhere. Equality, development, and peace. Women can't be silent all around the world. People hurt and hungry children cry. We'll sing out loud for justice and development and hold the rights of other people high. So sing a song for women everywhere. Let it ring around the world and never, never cease. So sing a song for women everywhere. Equality, development, and peace. Women now are working to build a better world, where the love of peace can rest on every shore, where men lay down their weapons and learn to love and
Good morning, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. You're all welcome to this program. I would like everyone to be seated. Just relax. We're going to start this program in a bit. We want to appreciate all of you for being here, and we're really excited seeing you here, especially to our dignitaries. So please, can we just settle down and we will commence in a bit. Thank you very much for coming.
All around the world, women are longing to be free.
So this morning, I am Mrs. Second Ogari, a staff of the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, NIPS Kuru, who is the host of the program. And I'm also here with my colleague who will anchor with me.
Thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your patience. It's great to see you all this morning. You all look very wonderful. And we want to say thank you for finding time to be here with us today. Today is a significant day, and we're not just here as a normal conference for women and political leaders, but we're also here to talk breaking barriers. And that is something that I think comes close to everybody's heart here. My name is Adora Onyechere Sydney Jack. I'm a broadcast journalist and the host for Gender Agenda and AIT and lead anchor for Kakakidi, African Voice. And most importantly for me, I am also politically literate. You know, short of saying that I'm a politician, so that no one takes me to the book. Well, thank you so much, and we want to welcome you officially to this event. As we commence, we want to recognize some very special guests here in our midst who already sit here. And as we go on in the course of the program, we would also be recognizing our dignitaries and special guests as they come into the hall. We want to welcome all right, so if our national anthem is ready, can we have that, please? And before we go ahead to have those introductions made, please may we all rise. The national anthem. Anthem as well before we see.
Special guest of honor, our special guest of honor, Senator Remy UN, First Lady of the Republic of Nigeria, who very short will be on our way very soon, when she comes to acknowledge the answer. Please can we clap for her attention. Thank you very much. The keynote speaker, Her Excellency Kuru, the former Minister for Women Affairs. He is right here seated. Can we You're welcome, Your Excellency. Her Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Ogun State, Mrs. Nyomot Salako. I'm so sorry. Please, is she here? Oh, you're welcome, ma'am. You're welcome. Thank you very much. I'm so sorry for that. Honorable
you look at your program, you find that this event is organized by National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies in collaboration with Inter-Party Advisory Council, Directorate of Women Affairs. Let's just open a round of applause for that. We want to welcome the presence of Larry Yusuf Muhammad Dr. who is the National Chairman for IPAC, is right here. Please a round of applause for him. We would also like to recognize the presence of Professor Ayo Omotayo, Director General for NICSS, who is represented by Mohammed Kabir Suleiman, MNI, the Secretary and Director of Administration. Please round of applause for him. We would also like to welcome distinguished senators, former, who are right here in the room. We saw the delectable, indefatigable Continental Victor. She was just in the right part. Please a round of applause for her. We'd also like to recognize the presence of the UN Women representative who is here, Zephaniah Aura. Please a round of applause. And also the representative for the Development Research and Project Center, a very keen partner to the NIPS. Please a round of applause for him. We would also like to recognize the Alumni Association of the National Institutes who are also here. Please a round of applause for them. And we do know that we're expecting other dignitaries to arrive, and as they do come in, we will recognize them as they come in as well. Please remember that today is a very significant day, and I think that it's not just about the significance, it's about the timeliness of this event, Conference for Women Political Leaders. And when we think political leaders, we think men first, but today we're thinking women. And that community, that ecosystem is coordinated and represented ably by women political leaders who are right here in the room, championing the causes of women in politics and political parties. So I would want you to do me the honors as they all stand up. May we recognize all the women leaders of political parties here in the room. Please may you stand while we give you an applause. Fantastic. 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 Aren't they lovely? Absolutely. Please, you may sit. Thank you very much. All right, just as we go into the conversation for today, one would really ask, what is breaking barriers and shaping positive attitude for inclusive politics? And I think I will start from where and what IPAC represents as a whole. When we think IPAC, we think Inter-Party Advisory Council, but indeed IPAC goes beyond that. I think for a lot of people, the vision for IPAC is to also think political collaborative democracy. And when you think political collaborative democracy, it means that everyone is in the room and no one is left behind. And that thing, for me, the thought is that inclusion comes to mind, because without inclusion, we cannot be practicing a wholesome democracy. And when you think democracy for Nigeria, you also think about population. And that means that the population demography relies both on the men and the women. And I want to say that that is also part of the education that we will be having here today, because I'm very privileged that our keynote speaker is none other than the former Minister of Women Affairs, whose resounding expertise, her interventions when she was in office cannot be overemphasized. But talking about education, I would also want to recognize Minister for State Education, Dr. Shuaiba Ahmad, who is Sueba. Thank you very much, Ahmad, who is very much in the room. Please, a round of applause for her. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us today. So as we start the conversation in earnest, I think that for us, the first thing we would want to take shape is for the welcome conversation, the welcome address. And I think that the most important thing is, why are we gathered here? And who is going to be telling us about that?
Thank you very much. To give the welcome address, please join me as I welcome the Secretary and Director of Administration of the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, NIPS. He is Mohammed Kabir Suleiman, MNI, for his welcoming address on behalf of the Director General.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to align myself with the protocol already established. I want to, on behalf of the Director General of the National Institute, Professor Yomotayo, appreciate all of you for turning up for this very important conference. First and foremost, the Director General would have loved to be here personally. It is the last minute hiccup. He had a logistic challenge that has prevented him from being in attendance. However, he had prepared a paper for this August gathering, and he has mandated me to read his paper. I will now go straight to the paper of the Director General of the National Institute, Professor Yomotayo. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the staff and management of the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, Kuru, I am pleased to welcome you to this all-important conference for women political leaders. We are honored to host such an august gathering of political leaders, policymakers, and intellectuals on this special day. Today, we convene under the theme that resonates deeply with Nigeria's democratic aspirations and developmental imperatives, breaking barriers and shaping positive attitudes for inclusive politics in Nigeria. This theme is not merely a slogan, it is a call to action, a recognition of a persistent challenge, and an affirmation of our collective resolve to foster a truly representative and equitable political landscape. NIPS, by its mandate, is uniquely positioned to provide a neutral and conducive platform for critical national dialogues like this. We are committed to fostering evidence-based policymaking and strategic thinking on issues vital to our national progress. Women's political participation and representations are undeniably one of such critical issues. Despite commendable strides in various sectors, Nigeria continues to grapple with significantly low level of women's representation in elective and appointed positions. This deficit is not just a matter of gender equity, it is a fundamental challenge to the inclusiveness and effectiveness of our democracy. When half of the population is underrepresented in the halls of power, their perspectives, experiences, and priorities risk being marginalized, hindering holistic national development. This conference, therefore, comes at a crucial juncture. It serves as a crucial platform for political leaders, women leaders, policymakers, and intellectuals to tackle key issues, including identifying barriers to women participation, shaping positive societal attitudes towards women leadership, and developing inclusive strategies for political engagement. A significant highlight of today's conference will be the review of and unveiling of the Inter-Party Advisory Council Directorate of Women Affairs Roadmap. This roadmap represents a landmark achievement, a tangible commitment by the collective body of political parties to proactively address the challenges of women's political participation within their own structures. It signals a move from rhetoric to practical action, outlining steps towards greater inclusion, mentorship, and its partnership makes critical initiatives like this conference possible. Thank you for believing in the cause and needs as a worthy partner. Our esteemed regards to Dr. Kole Shetima, Director of African MacArthur Foundation. We are grateful for your unflinching support and goodwill. I wish to especially acknowledge the First Lady in absentia for her uncommon and tireless advocacy for women and children. Your Excellency, your presence lent immense and inspiration to our deliberation. We are sure that you will soon join us for the conference. We are honored to host distinguished guest President of the respective political leaders at the highest level of government, chairpersons of committees on women affairs from both chambers of the National Assembly, indefatigable women advocates, honorable ministers, deputy governors, and other very special guests whose presence emphasizes the national importance of this conference. We are equally privileged to welcome the former Minister for Women Affairs, our keynote speaker, Her Excellency Pauline Tallinn, development partners including the UN Director and the numerous other prominent Nigerian leaders, women leaders, whose contribution continue to shape our national discourse and maintain Nigeria in the path of gender equality. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we look forward to 2 days of robust discourse. Anticipating valuable insights from this conference to inform our future strategies. Once again, welcome to the discussions and a rewarding experience. Thank you, and God bless Nigeria.
Words of encouragement and appreciation. Thank you so much. Would like to, before I call this next speaker for his remarks, is someone who is a he for she.
Under his watch and his leadership, women's political participation keeps advancing. Under his watch, they have established a tier-rubber, if I'll use that word, Directorate of Women Affairs, among other gender-friendly policies in the National Secretariat. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome this women champion, a man in whom we are well pleased with, Alhaji Yusuf Maman Dantele, IPAC National Chairman, as he comes forward for his remarks. Please, a round of applause. Doesn't he deserve it? Thank you so much, sir.
Good afternoon. This is morning, sorry. I am happy and I see what the women are doing with what we have done for them and will continue to do. You should congratulate yourself and say thank you. The First Lady, the wife of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, we were waiting for her, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, the Minister of State for Education, Dr. Swaiba Said Ahmed, our mother, the former Deputy Governor of Plateau, and 2 times Minister, and a major advocate for the cause of women in Nigeria. We are glad to have you here. The DG of NIPS, Professor Ayo Omotayo, ably represented. A special advisor, okay, the APC. Son, you are here, you are welcome. I didn't see you. As a legal advisor, her former ministers here. Okay, INEC chairman is here. I'm sorry. Professor Mahmoud Yakub, ably represented by that. I'm very sorry. I didn't see the former minister, the former senator here, and other former senators here, the president of the MNI Association, ambassador here, and then the deputy governor of Ogun State, ably represented by our sister. We have the executive director of the Directorate of Women Affairs. I think you should stand up to be recognized again, Haji Zainab Abubakar, who is also the Assistant National Secretary of IPAC. Please stand up for a job well done. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And the nation, good. The nation, thank you. That I disagree with you. No man, no women. Leaders of political parties here present, and my own dear sister Buruburu, one of IPAC, who is also this. I think you should stand up to be recognized. And we have 3 women in IPAC. Aja Miriam, you should stand up too. Yes. So this is the first time we are having 3 women in the council. It has never happened. And then we also have 2 state chairmen who are the chairman of our Lagos State. You should stand up, Akwa Ibom, and be recognized. It has never happened in IPAC. So the national secretary of IPAC and the DG are here. You should. Okay, our able senator Ireti Kingebe is just walking in. You are welcome. Members of the National Executive Council of IPAC, women leaders of all political parties here present, and other women advocates, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great privilege and honor for me to welcome you once again to this crucial conference for women political leaders on breaking barriers and shaping positive attitudes for inclusive politics in Nigeria. I commend the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, NIPS, for organizing the conference in collaboration with the Directorate of Women Affairs of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, which seek to provide a forum for dialogue among stakeholders on how women participation in politics can be enhanced to consolidate, strengthen, and deepen democracy in Nigeria. NIPS is a dependable ally in fostering behavioral change, approaches to promote integrity, accountability, and ethical standard among policy actors in the public and private sector, and had organized several workshops on institutionalizing behavioral approaches to reduce corruption in politics in Nigeria for national chairmen and women leaders in political parties, among other workshops in its commitment to building capacity of political parties in Nigeria. Council appreciates NIP's exceptional patriotism and unwavering commitment in bolstering the nation's democracy. We are grateful to NIPS. This conference for women political leaders is a testament to NIP's determination to promote inclusivity in the democratic process by equipping women with the confidence, leadership skill, and strategic insight essential to break through the barriers that hinder their active participation in politics. It will also provide a platform for addressing the persistent challenges that women face, such as traditional gender roles, discrimination, marginalization, low political participation, and representation in decision-making process. IPAC stands for Inclusivity in Politics. IPAC led by example and established 3 directorates dedicated to women, the youth, and people with disabilities, ensuring that the voices of the underrepresented groups are heard and considered within the council. The Dr. Yusuf Muhammad Entele IPAC is the first to achieve 3 elected women in the council as provided by its constitution, with the National Publicity Secretary, represented by Chinyere Ogekalu, the National Treasurer, represented by Honorable Miriam Bagel, and the Deputy National Secretary, who is currently also the director of the executive director of this directorate. IPAC has been working assiduously to ensure that women are duly represented in the national, state, local, and world executive of all political parties. Reports on this are encouraging, as is evident here for all to see, as we collectively resolve to push for more gender inclusivity in politics, leadership, and governance. In any democratic society, the active participation of women in politics is critical to achieving inclusivity, equality, equity, and sustainable. When a section of this in policy discussion, they feel marginalized. These are the case who constitute about 50% of the population. The nation's population, we cannot advance our democracy if half of the population is excluded from the political sphere. This is just injustice will not stand. IPAC is with Nigerian women in breaking barriers that impede their participation in politics. It is time to break awkward barriers that have no place in modern societies, driven by technology that allows citizens to maximize their potentials and contribute to nation building. Cultural barriers, stereotypes, poverty, lack of education, violence against women, etc., must be broken immediately. Women's rights are fundamental human rights that were enshrined by the United Nations for everybody and subscribed to by Nigeria as provided for in the 1999 Constitution as amended. Free. Health, dignity. I charge Nigerian women to rise up and take their rightful place in politics and governance. It is time to break the class ceilings, join political parties of their choices, contest various elective positions, and prove their ability to lead, bearing in mind that power is not given, it is taken. If women do not participate, let me digress. I was discussing with a professor some time back, and I asked him, why is it that those who have the people at heart are not given the opportunity to rule this country? He said, no, you are wrong, Dabo. Nobody gives you opportunity. You fight and break the circle. So you have to fight to break the circle. So if women do not participate in the electoral process, there is no way they can be elected president or vice president, governors or deputy governors, senators, House of Representatives, state legislators, and council members. In the 2023 presidential election, only one female candidate contested the election on the platform of my party, the APM. So she won the presidential party ticket in spite of all odds because she stepped out to vie for the highest office in the country. It was a triumph of courage over intimidation, stereotype, and marginalization. She did not win the presidential election, but she made a point that women could aspire to the highest office in the country. Across the world, many women have broken barriers and glass ceilings in politics to become presidents, prime ministers, senators, national state legislators, military generals, astronauts, and other men-dominated fields. As Nigerian women take giant steps forward in politics, the sky will be their limit as they explore immense possibilities that will enrich the nation's emerging democracy. Accordingly, IPAC reiterates its call for the passage of the bill on the reservation of special seats for women in parliament pending at the National Assembly. Unfortunately, the First Lady is not here. I was going to put this on her table to help us influence the man who is the Commander-in-Chief, see what can be done on this as fast as possible. It is anchored on the fundamental principles of equitable representations and aims to empower women by ensuring their voices are not only heard, but they actively contribute in shaping the legislative landscape and the overall development of the nation. IPAC will intensify action to ensure the bill scale through the House of Representatives and the Senate and assented to by the President. Council urges the National Assembly to also pass the Electoral Offences Commission Bill into law that will ensure the prosecution of electoral offenders and their sponsors to serve as deterrents to those inclined to undermine the integrity of the nation's elections. To further safeguard the integrity of the electoral process, IPAC advocates for a single-day general elections. A single-day elections will reduce costs. It will minimize disruption of economic activities and academic activities, maintain voters' enthusiasm throughout the process, and address logistical challenges. This is in line with global practices as obtained in Ghana, in Sierra Leone, the United States, and Venezuela, and some of the countries that hold their elections in one day. As we embrace more women participation in politics, I join breaking barriers that hinder them and shape positive attitudes for inclusive politics. Our democracy, democratic institutions, and governance will be strengthened. Nigerians will feel the impact of their government at all levels. Power will return to the people on whom sovereignty resides. This is a new dawn. I wish us a robust deliberation. I thank you all for the audience.
Please, a round of applause for him. He said two things that I want to take away. He said democracy is dependent on active participation. We cannot have half of our population participate in our democracy, then it will be on hold. And he said women's rights are fundamental human rights. Please, another round of applause for him. Thank you so much, sir. Well, I missed her earlier, but it will be my delight to have her come forward. The woman I'm about to call is an efficient and known political woman mobilizer of the country. She is remarkable, indefatigable in her representation of women's voices, dedicated with such tenacity of purpose and the voice of women folks in this country. Popularly known aka as Auntie Z. Well, you know. So, and she just gave us a new chart today. No men. You disagree with that? All in favor say aye, and the aye have it. Please help me welcome. Just before I do that, I would like to recognize, she walked in during the chairman's speech, the distinguished senator. She already waved to us, but I'd like to recognize her again, distinguished Senator Ireti Kingiwe, senator representing the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Senatorial District. Please, a round of applause for her. Thank you so much, ma'am, for finding time. I'd also like to recognize Mrs. Edna Azura, President, National Council for Women's Society. She's also here. And to our latest professor, I need to add that, Professor Sueiba Ahmad. We said doctor earlier, so now we're told that it has been updated to professor. Please, a round of applause for her. Please help me welcome a woman who we are very
music. And funny enough, she's a woman of very few words, but a lot of action. So please welcome Hadia Zainab, Abuja. Please a round of applause. Let's always be shaken. Your applause to shake.
Thank you, our adorable Adora. I call her our adorable Adora because she anchors the gender agenda on AIT. Thank you very much. Of course, as a politician, I don't start anything without gingering up my women. No man! Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, great Nigerian men. Our men are very lucky today because we have our mother seated right in front of us. So no woman, ignore a woman, empower a woman, educate a woman. No man. Because our mother is sitting here today, we will say no man, no progress. So no man. This is because our mommy is seated. But the usual slogan is because politically the men are our mother. No, we just agree with that. Thank you very much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Our mother, the First Lady of our dear country, distinguished Senator Oluremi Tinubu, whom we are still expecting. My dear sister, the she for she. When we advocate for he, for she, someone somewhere in her wisdom reminded us that the she's should support she's first. Because when the she's support the she's, the men cannot struggle with us. I'm talking about none other than the small but mighty Professor Suwaiba Said Ahmed, the Honorable Minister of State Education. Thank you for coming. Our dear mother, the mother of every politician, a woman, be it in Nigeria or diaspora, whether you are a black Nigerian or a white Nigerian, someone who was once a councillor, a local government chairman. When I knew her in my school days, she was a commissioner of education, and that commissionership, she did commissioner 3 times in Plateau State. She rose one of the first deputy governors, female in northern Nigeria. And then, can you imagine a woman being a minister twice in her lifetime? Please, let's celebrate our dear mother, the guest speaker of today. My dear sister, Honorable Iman Suleiman is on her way, but I will appreciate her, and when she comes in, I will also recognize her. She is the face of the women of the Nigerian government. She is on her way. The representative of the national chairman of the greatest party on the land of Africa, of the greatest party on black and white African nation, the representative of the national chairman of APC, who is one of the youngest senior advocates of Nigeria, who is the legal advisor of APC, Honorable Kana is here representing our national chairman. We have the representative of the Deputy Governor of Ogun State, who is a young, progressive lady who has chaired the Progressive Young Women's Forum of APC, who is also the SA to the President on Citizenship and Leadership, Honorable Bisola Abiola, sorry. When you look at her, you know you have the late MKO Abiola in our presence. Celebrate her, please. We have our distinguished senator, who is our host, who is representing every person, whether you reside in FCT, whether you visit FCT, whether you hear about FCT, the senator representing FCT is here in our midst. Welcome, help me to welcome distinguished Senator Ireti Kingibe, who is the senator in charge of the Senate Committee on Women Affairs. So she's our very own. Distinguished sisters and gentlemen, please help me to recognize the presence of our IPAC chairman, the He for She chairman, whose campaign promise was to include women in the NWC of IPAC and to create 3 directorates for the underrepresented: the Directorate of Women Affairs, the Directorate of Youth Affairs, and the Directorate of People Living with Disability. The person whose magnanimity is why we are here. I recognize the IPAC National Chairman, Alhaji Yusuf Mamman Dantele. A round of applause. I recognize Professor Ayo Omotayo, the Director General of National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, NIPS Kuru Jos, who are our partners, who are our He for She partners, who are our sponsors of this event. Mr. DG, sir, welcome. Because we are talking about inclusion, we have someone who is the Director, Policy and Programs of the Presidential Committee on Economic and Financial Inclusion, Ms. Olusoye Olutimiayi. Welcome. We have Honorable Ronke Katagum, who is representing Honorable Tolu Shodikwe, a member House of Representatives from Oyo State. We have Mr. Zafania Aura, representing the UN Women Director, Ms. Beatrice. We have Dr. Stanley Okpa, who is the Director of Projects Development, Research and Development Center. We have the President, National Council for Women Development, NCWS, my dear sister, Mrs. Edna Azura. We have Mrs. Lakunaya Di Bello, the Director, Gender and Inclusivity of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, hereby representing the INEC chairman. My dear sister, you're welcome. We recognize you. I want to recognize my two allies, my dear sisters, who are part and parcel of me in the Directorate, Honorable Chinyere, who has been up and doing to see that this event becomes successful, who is the Director of Project, and Honorable Mariam Bagel, who is the Director of Finance. My dear sisters, I want to recognize all our zonal coordinators, our state coordinators, our sisters from every aspect of life, members of the press, distinguished, beautiful sisters. We also have here present members of the IPAC Council who are also he for she's. A round of applause for them, please. Permit me to recognize each and everybody that is here whose name is not mentioned. Your Excellency, our dear mother in absentia, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs in absentia, our esteemed partners. It is with immense honor, gratitude, and a deep sense of duty that I welcome you all to this historic occasion, the official unveiling of the action plan and inauguration of state and zonal coordinators of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, Directorate of Women Affairs, developed in strategic partnership with the prestigious National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, NIPS, Kuru, Jos. Today's gathering is not just ceremonial. It is a rallying point, a call to action to deepen the political inclusion and leadership of Nigerian women across party lines and all levels of governance. Permit me to acknowledge the foresight of the National Chairman of IPAC, Alhaji Yusuf Dantele, whose inclusive leadership laid the foundation for the Directorate of Women Affairs. This has created a legitimate platform for Nigerian women within political party structures. As I've earlier mentioned, it's in fulfillment of his campaign promise. In line with this mandate, the Directorate has already embarked on concrete steps. We have carried out advocacy visits to some national chairmen of political parties, urging them to deliberately increase the number of women in their national working committee. This is one of the foremost steps the Directorate has embarked upon, because IPAC is the body of all registered political parties in Nigeria, and political parties are the platform of contesting election. So the first point of action we need to take is to make sure that we have women, we have a voice within the political party structure where policies are being formulated. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, when political parties decided to offer free nomination forms to women, we all know how it increased the number of women that went into contest. Though the result was not encouraging, but it's a stepping stone, because some of the women that contested for election were recognized either at their state level or at national level. It makes you a stakeholder in your state, and that was a good starting point for women. And as I always say, what if every political party decides to adopt the twinning method? I will read ahead. Additionally, I bring you good tidings. The newly drafted and adopted IPAC constitution by all registered political parties, that is, the principle of twinning, was adopted and embedded into the document. It means that for every executive office held by a man, a woman automatically becomes the deputy or the vice. It was a tough battle in Lagos. Some of us that were present will testify to that. But to God be the glory, and I give the credit to our IPAC chairman, who has created a directorate to give voice to that. Because you need to be present on the decision-making table to take part of the decision that concerns you. And I want to tell you that the presence of the female in that constitution drafting process was what led to the adoption of the twinning formula in the IPAC constitution. The action plan we unveil today is the blueprint that aligns with these ongoing efforts. It outlines actionable objectives, timelines, and implementation strategies for sustainable and inclusive political party development. As we inaugurate the Directorate, zonal, and state coordinators, this action plan will serve as a working document and will be implemented from zonal, state, local government, wards, polling, and community units. But let me be clear, my dear sisters, distinguished gentlemen, the success of this initiative depends on what happens after today. This plan must not be shelved. No, it shouldn't be business as usual. Enough of conferences, enough of talking, enough of theories. Let us practically practice what will benefit us. Thus, increasing gender representation in all levels of governance. It must be activated. This document must be activated, funded, monitored, and refined as we progress. It is a living document, and its validity depends on our collective resolve. Therefore, I call on all political parties, government institutions, civil society, media, and development partners to join hands to move this vision from plan to progress, from policy to practice. Distinguished sisters, ladies and gentlemen, the twinning method we are advocating for is just a process where you have a male executive, automatically the deputy or vice becomes a woman. And as I always say, it's the shortest and the most immediate method of dealing with gender underrepresentation. Now my party, APC, has 21 governors. If my party had adopted the twinning formula, we would have had 21 deputy governors, which is 50-50. We have even achieved beyond the 35% affirmative we're asking for. PDP has 11 governors. If PDP adopts the twinning formula, we would have had 11 deputy governors from PDP. And deputy governors are potential governors. If you look in the Senate today, 2 of the sitting ministers were former deputy governors. And that means we can start with that. And it's not just being deputies, no. If the woman is the governor, the man becomes the deputy. So it's vice versa. If a political party decides to adopt that as a policy, it doesn't require any first, second, third reading. The bill for the gender bill in the National Assembly will give it a legitimate and backing, yes. But the most immediate method lies with the political parties. And IPAC is the father of all political parties. And so we call on all political parties to begin charity at, let charities begin at. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for honoring our invitation and for standing with Nigerian women. Together, we move from aspiration to action. God bless you all. God bless IPAC. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. God bless every Nigerian woman. No woman! No woman! 3 resounding bosses for the Nigerian women. How many bosses for our men? Okay, let's give them 3. 3 resounding bosses for our men. Thank you very much.
Of the Minister of State for FCT came in, and she is Mrs. Maida Adamu Kuku. She's the SA to the Minister of State FCT. Let's welcome her. She's seated already. You're welcome. I would like to, you will pardon me to do this because I don't know if we really acknowledged one of ours in the National Institute. You know, the Alumni Association of the National Institute is our pride, and we don't joke with that. And we have the president himself who is seated here. He is Ambassador Emmanuel Obioka for MNI, the ANI president. Please welcome him. The ANI is our pride in the National Institute. I want to welcome you. Oh, okay. So he's going to come up for his goodwill messages. I was actually recognizing you first. But since you're up, let's have your goodwill messages. We have a lot of goodwill messages, so we'll give time for this now. Welcome him once again. Thank you very much.
Please, I think the Honorable Minister for Education can please come forward. She has a function.
Thank you so much. Your Excellency, thank you so very much for permitting us to do this. We were told that the Minister for State Education is having another function, so we would like to call her now for her goodwill message. Please join me to welcome the Minister for State Education for her goodwill message. Thank you.
Thank you. A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Great Nigerian woman. Great Nigerian woman. Great Nigerian woman. You know, when you are living with the likes of Hajia Zainab, she actually infused additional strength and energy into you. So permit me, I will not be able to acknowledge everyone that is here, but I must acknowledge some. Already Hajia Zainab has fully acknowledged each and everyone that is here, so I will beg to stand on what she has already established But at the same time, I would like to recognize a few. I will first of all, of course, recognize the mother of Nigeria, who we are still expecting, our mother, and I can say that the number one in terms of the girl child education course, the number one in terms of the fighting for opportunities for women in Nigeria. No other person but the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu. I would also like to recognize my sister that is late for her activity. That is Haja Iman Suleiman. I'm sure she will still come, though she has been on her way for 2 hours now. I wonder from where she's really coming. And then also, our mother also, the former Minister for Women Affairs, and today our keynote speaker, Her Excellency Pauline Talin. You are welcome, ma'am. My sister, our distinguished Senator, Senator Eriti Kingibe. Thank you. And then, let me specially recognize the woman that is the force behind today's gathering. When she was called to the podium, there is so much excitement. Everybody is excited that she is coming on board. This is nobody than Hajia Zainab Ibrahim. When I was first appointed, she was one of the few that came to my office with so many useful advice and tips that I knew her only for a short time, but right now I feel like I have known her all my life. Thank you for knowing you, and thank you for being who you are for the Nigerian women and the Nigerian child. Thank you. I'm meeting this person for the first time. He is the IPAC National Chairman, but I have heard a lot about him. Yusuf Muhammad Dantale. He was referred to as the he for she. But in the discussion by Hajia Zainab, she mentioned a lot of things that he has done for the she. And this, I will ask you, Hajia Zainab. You are saying that without a man, what did she even say? No hala. I beg, withdraw that statement. Withdraw that statement. If we have a person that makes life easier for the woman, you are he for she. You are welcome. Our doors are open. The men are the one doing he for she. The women are just doing she for she. They are not.
It's her mic that was off. Your mic?
No progress! No progress!
Because we don't want them to leave this room and start saying that this is what the women are saying. Please, delete that conversation. We have not had it. Completely delete it from you. We want additional information. I will say this before I go into my speech. But really, all of us here at Directorate are people that understand the need for women in politics, the need for women in the position of leadership, the need for women at the decision table. But how many percentage of us are here? Let's ask ourselves. Out of the percentage of women, how many women really understand this construct? How many women really allow this to sit, assimilate, and act based on that? We have our work cut out for us. And that is why I say, we don't have she for she. Every problem of a woman in politics, every problem of a woman in decision table, mostly the genesis are other women. How many people contested for election? How many won that election? Who vote? Women vote.
We have to go back to the grassroots. Just like we understand the construct, just like we understand the need for back and educate our mothers, the grassroots, let them understand that. Powerful. Whether that they do, we will still be in that cross-door meeting because of our importance, because of our significance, because they know without us, they cannot do it. We need to do that. We need to recognize that. So for me, I would like to say this. As someone that has been a lecturer, I've been a lecturer for 20 years. As someone that has been in the classroom for for about 20 years, more than 20 years actually. As someone that teaches students women education, as someone that is a strong advocate for girl child education, I have seen it all. If you want to decide on the need for women in politics, on the need of women on the decision table, I can give you so many references that you will get tired of reading. We have all this documented, readily available. But for us, it's not about the policy. For us, it's not even about the researches. For us, it is about the implementation. What should we do different to ensure that we are seeing different results? We've been talking this agenda for how long? We've been talking it for a long time. But things are not changing. Even with the free nomination forms, how many women were able to actually won that election? We have had a story of the power struggle, the contest just to emerge as the senator. How do we take that? What should we do different? I believe that should be the talk of discussion. What have we been doing? What can we do different to achieve different results? If we have been doing the same thing over and over again, getting the same result, then we are just wasting our time. We shouldn't even be here. What can we do? What else can we do? What can we do differently? Review that action plan, please. If it is an action plan that is just a replica of other action plans that have been done before, then just discard it. Look for something else to ensure that we are able to implement. As a teacher, I talk a lot, even though I have a meeting, but I'll try to do summary. I'll just briefly say a few words because they have prepared something for me here. Let me just briefly touch on it and then simply run away and allow you to continue with your program. So I just want to mention that this particular gathering is really important. And the theme echoes our collective aspiration. What is our aspiration? A nation where every voice matters. Every citizen is empowered and no one is left behind. That is our aspiration. Inclusive politics is not merely an ideal. It is really a bedrock of a just, peaceful, and progressive society. It demands that we dismantle the social but celebrated. At the same time, shaping positive attitudes calls for a cultural shift towards empathy, respect, and an unwavering commitment to equity and inclusion. Let this event serve as a start for meaningful conversation, the birthplace of enduring collaboration, and a launchpad for concrete steps towards building a Nigeria where every citizen, regardless of background, has a seat at the table and a stake in our future. Let us women must think in such a way that to come out and say, I want to be a politician for a woman is not to say that it is a taboo. Because in our culture, sometimes it's even a taboo to say you want to be a politician. Let them do something, a birthright for each and every citizen to be able to come out and say, this is what I aspire to be. And together, we can break down barriers, transform attitudes, and shape a truly inclusive democracy for generations to come. I wish all of us a successful I wish us luck. And congratulations.
Please, a round of applause for that. Just want to ask one question. Do women support each other? Yes. Yes? Okay, so there are she for she. And I think that's why we are all in this hall. If women were not supporting women, there would be no women in this hall. So please let us put our hands together for all the women who can come out. Thank you very much for that. The next woman I'm about to call is a woman of many hats. She's been a voice for young people, for youth representation. She was the former SAP leader, the Speaker of House of Representatives, President APC Young Women Forum, board member Young Women in Politics Forum, and also youth representative for the APC Board of Trustees. And now she's wearing the cap of the Senior Special Assistant to the President of Citizenship and Leadership. So she's walked the walk. She's representing the Deputy Governor of Ogun State. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Honorable Abuja. A round of applause.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to act like Hajia Zainab. No woman. I think I've lost my campaign voice. I will now take her goodwill message. All protocols duly observed. It is a pleasure to be here among trailblazers and advocates committed to advancing women's political participation in Nigeria. This conference, Breaking Barriers and Shaping Positive Attitudes for Inclusive
But go and collect battery from the technical people. Give them to bring back. Let them give two different batteries. It's their own. Their own is it. I will go and collect two for now. We're supposed to keep about 10 of this thing here. Hectic. Let me go and collect batteries and follow distribute. They should give us 2 extra batteries. 5.
Our roles must not be symbolic. They must be strategic and they must deliver results. Let us all, men and women, move beyond rhetoric and drive structural changes
needed to make inclusive leadership our new reality. I wish you impactful celebrations and lasting outcomes. Thank you.
Has indeed kept to time. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please permit us to just walk on 2 minutes for each person coming up to give a goodwill message. We have gone way beyond our time for this opening ceremony. So I want to plead with others coming up for the goodwill message to please stick to 2 minutes so that we can be done. We have many other programs to handle this morning.
No woman, no woman. I will not say that about man. Our First Lady, who we are still awaiting her arrival, DJ Lips, ably represented, our indefatigable chairman of IPAC, our woman leader, Dave Continental, who I've always admired when she was the Minister of Women Affairs. I will not forget our indefatigable Zainab, who has moved this gathering so well that the men are even jealous. I will now say congratulations to the women. I will want to stand on the already established protocol because I don't want to make any mistake. Today is the day of the women, and the men have to be very careful because we are overwhelmed by the crowd. But I'm so impressed with the quality of the women who have come here today. The alumni session is honored to be invited to address this important occasion, focus on breaking down the barriers and shaping positive attitude of inclusive politics in Nigeria. The subject is not only critical, it's also very, very timely, as it underscores the role of women to play in shaping the future of our nation. Despite the progress recorded by women in Nigeria over the years, women remain significantly underrepresented in Nigerian political landscape. According to the IPU, that's Interparliamentary Union, women occupy only 3.6% of parliamentary seats in Nigeria. This is discouraging, considering that in Rwanda, an African country, has the highest percentage of women in parliament globally, about 60%. Even in South Africa, there are about 46% seats of women occupying the parliament. Leadership positions in government and politics remain largely low for women who continue to face structural biases, societal discrimination, and limited access to resources, networks, and mentorship. These challenges, however, are not unsurmountable. Initiatives such as this conference are instruments to mentoring, training, building the capacity of women to become effective leaders. I think the theme of this conference and the objectives require mentoring. There is also a need for policy reforms, robust legal framework, cultural and societal reorientation that actively promotes gender equality. The theme of this conference aligns sharply with our alumni theme and mission. We believe that for women, bringing unique perspectives, experiences, and insights that greatly enrich our political discourse and decision making. We commend this management efforts in bringing this conference or hosting has taken significant steps to provide behavioral changes and approaches that foster inclusion and accountability and effective leadership among policies. We also acknowledge the effort of IPA, and good for Mama that for his fresh perspective of this constant focus on improvement standards among policy makers. At this conference, we eagerly anticipate the insights, recommendations, and implementation strategies that will implement. Together, let us amplify the process of healing, dismantle, estrange the barriers, and commit ourselves to building an inclusive and equitable society, where we play a central role in shaping our nation. At this point in time, I want to thank you for your kind attention. No women, no nation.
I would like to call on President of the National Council for Women's Society, Mrs. Edna, for her.
Welcome back to the stage. You're welcome. The first lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, my dear mother, my mother, as attested to, here, should be applauded by everyone. Morning, keep that, because we are proud of you, and anywhere we see you, we know everything will go well. We recognize Mommy for the talent, and Mommy, we are grateful to having you in this country, because you are everything to us as Nigerian women. My dear mother, Senator Kuru, I honor you. My dear sister Zainab, the conveners of the program, I cannot go to recognize everyone of us, so I stand on the established protocols. The National Council of Women Societies, NCWS Nigeria, was founded in 1950 with a singular goal to empower Nigerian women. And out of that, we have built so many organizations that are into the political space, making sure that women occupy elected positions in the country. And we have had success stories of Rwanda, South Africa, and other places that they have 64% or 6% women in the parliament. Why are we not having this 35% of affirmative action in Nigeria? This is because women, we need to be united and speak with one voice. Please let us be united and speak with one voice. That is our major challenge. The men are not our challenge, it's the women. Because I will be doing one thing, the other one will be doing one thing. And when we occupy such positions, we tend to forget where we are coming from. We tend to forget where we are coming from. When you occupy that position, remember that the other will also want to occupy other spaces so that we can have many voices. Nigeria, we need inclusivity. Without that, we remain where we are. And when there are biases in the things we do, let us not even think of progress. So I call upon us today that should be advocate of this that I'm about to say. The women, the men should be included. The women should be included. The youth should be included. The people living with disabilities should be included. Please, and with that, we will move and shape Africa and even the world at large. So, I present myself today as the leader of all women that are in the organization in Nigeria, all Nigerian women. Please, politics is not here, it's at the grassroots. And when we just come here, go to Nikon and whatever, people contest like that, sit like this, deliberate and just go and sit, it is not going to work.
It's not working. So you need to come to us, the organizations, the women organizations in Nigeria. Let us come together. Let us think outside the box. Let us strategize. Without strategies and speaking with one voice, we are not making a headway.
Thank you very much. No woman.
Where is the other one?
I want to thank our delegate for that conversation. Then he gave up, you know, I hardly heard the men say they don't support each other. But I do know that if there are gaps, but I think that the Nigerian women that are going to be working in solidarity.
Why is the new one?
And I want to reiterate that unless we unite and each other, we will definitely have divided voices. So thank you so much. And I want to recognize the presence of Dr. Shetiman, Director of Africa MacArthur Foundation. Please a round of applause for him. Very, very cool. I also Senate 2003. He didn't win. He tried again in 2015. He didn't win. Then after all her labor, she now went to Labour. As
in the FCT calls, I stand on them. My esteemed sisters, slight correction. I ran in 2003, but from then on to 2023, I was never on the ballot. I never got a ticket. That is the problem women have. It's not that other women will not vote for you, but you have to be on the ballot first. So IPAC, I know you can't force any political party, but it will be good if you can encourage them to include women in all aspects, in the executive. In Labour right now, we're trying to put together structures. And I'm insisting, if the chairman of the ward is a man, the secretary must be a woman. The deputy must be a woman. None of this woman leader only and deputy woman leader. We are done with that. Secondly, we cannot just talk about women inclusion. We must work for it. We must fight for it. We are supposed to be the giant of Africa. I have to tell you something. The world has moved on. I just got back from Uzbekistan, where I had to go. Guess why? Even though I did not know where Uzbekistan was, I did not want to go. But because the world has moved on, no country's delegation is complete without a woman. Please, how many female senators are there? If the other three cannot go, or if I didn't go, then it means Nigeria cannot vote its full complement of votes. The world has come to the point where no delegation is complete without a woman. So where will you find the women when you don't elect them? When they are not part of the process. So things must change. We got there. There were female speakers from other countries. Everybody came there to showcase their women inclusion. We were struggling to put a woman on our delegation. Not good enough for the giants. Now, I must tell you something that happened just in March.
The 35% gender inclusion bill has gone to first reading. This May, hopefully it will go to second reading. Now, what I require from every woman, go to your representative, both your senator and your House of Rep member, or else they will kill it. This is the first time I think it's actually going to first reading. So there's progress. It must pass because the 74 special seats is a constitutional amendment, which means that after the National Assembly passes it, 28 state assemblies must accept. So we can, maybe if we try, get it through for 2027. But even if we don't, let that 35%, which can happen, if it passes National Assembly, I know the president, who is gender friendly, will sign it into law. Now that means all parties and everybody must bring out 35%. Please, it is not just about saying you want. You have to do something to get it. Are you all listening to me? Women then must go out of their way and support women. I support women regardless of party. If I find a woman running anywhere against a man in my party, I will vote for her, I will work for her, I will make sure she gets elected. And that's what everybody needs to do. Forget party. You have one party. It's called the Women's Party. So please, I'm not going to take up any more of your time. Just everybody go and meet your representative and tell them you must support the women bills, or else you cannot have my vote. And the women vote. It matters. The bulk of the voters are women. We have to be a strong lobby group. We can't just ask. We must demand. We must make. That is how it's to go. So, no woman, no nation. Great Nigerian women, I salute you. Thank you very much.
She has given you the charge. Go and meet your House of Rep member. Go and meet your Senate. This is a very serious matter. You think it's a joke. Or they will kill it. So she's giving us an expo. So it's important that here we are talking about the special seat bill, but it's also important to mobilize. And I'm very happy that our women leaders are here from the political parties. And like the NCWS DG said, we need to go local. I would like to recognize a woman of excellence who just walked in, an international expert and thought leader in the security conflict resolution. If you don't know now. Former Director General of National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, the former Federal Commissioner of the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants, and Internally Displaced Persons. Also the first female Minister of Police Affairs in Nigeria, former, and currently the Minister of Women Affairs of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome Honorable Iman Suleiman Ibrahim for her speech. Thank you.
Great Nigerian women, energetic Nigerian women, powerful Nigerian women, lovely Nigerian women. Are we ready? Thank you so much. May I register my apologies for coming late? This is my 4th program today, but I knew that I had to be here because of the importance of this program. May I start by recognizing my sister, my colleague, Honorable Minister of State Education, Dr. Suwaiba S. Ahmed. May I also recognize the chairman of IPAC, Dr. Yusuf M. Dentale. May I also recognize the chair, Senate Committee on Women Affairs, our mommy, our big sister, Senator Reti Kingibe. May I recognize my mommy, the former Minister of Women Affairs, Dame Pauline Talon. May I recognize all the party leaders here, the executives, the President NCWS. I think I see my brother here. Aha! The Prof, my leader, Professor Kana. May I also recognize all the women groups here, our women politicians, activists, distinguished participants, the media, ladies and gentlemen. I'll just read the speech today because, you know, I'm in a bit of a hurry. We have another meeting with the Vice President's office. And the theme for today is breaking barriers and sharing positive attitudes for inclusive politics in Nigeria, which is very, very apt. Distinguished guests, esteemed members of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, the IPAC, resilient women leaders, members of the civil society, the media, and all Nigerians committed to a more equitable future for all. It is with a deep sense of honor and purpose that I convey my heartfelt goodwill to you all on this pivotal occasion. This initiative, coupled with the inauguration of the state chapters of the Directorate, is a landmark step in our shared journey towards advancing the rights, the roles and responsibilities of women in Nigeria's political architecture. Allow me to begin by commending the leadership of the IPAC, in particular the Women's Directorate, for their unwavering commitment to gender equity and political inclusion. Under the leadership of my darling sister, the powerful Zainab Abubakar, our Deputy National Woman Leader of the ruling party of this country and the largest party in Africa. Your efforts represent more than a bureaucratic process. They signify a movement aimed at awakening the full potential of Nigerian women and ensuring that politics in our great nation reflects the diversity and strength of its people. The chosen theme, breaking barriers, sharing positive attitudes for inclusive politics in Nigeria, could not have been more timely and relevant. In a nation as vibrant and complex as ours, the call for inclusivity is not merely aspirational, it is necessary. The time has come for us to reimagine our political ecosystem through the lens of equity, diversity, and inclusion for sustainability. Distinguished guests, esteemed members, as you are well aware, historically, Nigerian women have faced multiple layers of exclusion in Nigerian politics and governance systems, ranging from socio-cultural norms, institutional limitations, to outright discrimination and gender-based violence. These barriers, though deeply entrenched, are not insurmountable. Breaking these barriers demands intentional and sustained action at all levels, the federal level, state and local government. It calls for legal reforms that protect women's right to political participation, financial support mechanisms to address economic disenfranchisement, safe political spaces, fear of intimidation, and inclusive party structures that go beyond tokenism to genuine empowerment. Let me quickly add that while structural reforms is critical, it is equally important to reshape attitude. The persistent stereotype that relegates women to the background must actively be challenged and dismantled. A positive shift in societal mindset is one of the most powerful tools for change. We must move away from the narrative that politics is a male-dominated terrain to begin to normalize women's leadership across all spheres. This requires deliberate storytelling, the amplification of female political role models, and the robust civic education to inspire confidence in women, girls from a young age. Distinguished guests, esteemed members, I have no doubt that the action plan being presented here today will serve as a critical blueprint for women's political engagement over the next 4 years. Its objectives, when effectively implemented, will catalyze transformation across party lines and across all levels of government. The establishment of state chapters of the Women Directorate is also an inspiring move. It ensures that the vision of inclusive politics is not centralized in Abuja, but it's rooted in every community, local government, and constituency. This is bottom-up approach and is essential for sustainability and greater impact. I urge all state actors, traditional leaders, party stakeholders, and community influencers to support the rollout and implementation of this plan. We must go beyond supportive words to begin to allocate resources, platforms, and protection that women need to participate meaningfully in our political process. Let me seize this opportunity to make a passionate appeal to all political parties in Nigeria. Gender inclusivity must not remain a checkbox on your manifesto. It must become a cornerstone of your political philosophy and practice. Women must be given tickets, strategic party positions, and fair opportunities to serve. They must be supported to succeed. For me, the Inter-Party Advisory Council, as the umbrella body for all registered political parties, has a moral and strategic obligation to lead this charge. The Women's Directorate, as its gender-focused arm, must continue to serve as both a conscience and a catalyst for transformation. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, change is never easy, but it is always possible. And with the energy and vision I've witnessed amongst the women gathered here, I'm filled with hope that we can do this. Let us remember that inclusive politics is not a favor on women, it's a duty to democracy, and is a catalyst for national development. Nigeria cannot move forward when half of its population is left behind. And nobody can work, or no country can thrive working on one leg. On behalf of the Federal Minister of Women Affairs and His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, I extend my sincere congratulations to the IPAC, Women's Directorate, on these bold steps forward. We stand ready to work with you and win with you and work with you. I thank you all for listening. May God bless you all, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the Honorable Minister to inaugurate the zonal and state coordinators. As she has earlier mentioned, she just whisked into this event to make sure that she does what is expected of her. And I would like to call on all the zonal and state women leaders to stand while the Honorable Minister inaugurates them. And after the inauguration, our mommy will give the keynote address, and then our distinguished senator will be assisted by our and the Senate. A big round of applause for her. She's an inspiration, a mentor. Thank you very much.
Dear state and local government and zonal coordinators, what a time to be a Nigerian woman. This is unprecedented. A time where every patriotic man is rooting for the Nigerian woman. On this note, may I, on behalf of every Nigerian who seeks for inclusivity and sustainability of women in national development, inaugurate you into your roles. You can count on our support.
And zonal coordinators, come out quickly, quickly, quickly. No time. And mommy too.
Senator Binta, please, can you join them? Thank you very much. And the UN women, Mrs. Afinaya, please come forward to join the picture. And our dear Dr. Kole Shetima, please We would love you to join the picture quickly. Please, can I kindly please request the honor of Madam NLB and Madam NN, please come forward for the picture. Thank you so much. Like the minister said, it's a significant moment. All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Honorable Minister. Please, the event is not over. We just wanted to make sure that we have this inauguration done with the presence of the Honorable Minister for Women Affairs. Please, can we have our seats, Women Leader? Please, let's have our seats. The event is not yet over. Please. Thank you, Honorable Minister. Thank you so much for making our time to join us. Please, quickly, may we all sit down, please. Please, let's all have our seats. Thank you. Thank you so much. We'll wait for our women leaders to have their seats, then we can go to the next conversation, which is the main conversation for these events. Thank you. Please, women leaders, if you can come back to your seats. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, so I will be going straight to the next and most important address of today. We have the privilege and the honor of having the keynote address be made by a woman of many parts. She started off as a counselor in her state, became a commissioner, also became Minister of State for Science and Technology, and at some point became the Deputy Governor of Plateau State and the first woman to be the Deputy Governor in Northern Nigeria. She served as the Minister for Women Affairs and Social Development from 2019 to 2023. And currently also has a Lifetime Achievement Award by the UNDP, the Commonwealth Youth Council, Nelson Mandela's Africa Patriots Award as African Patriot Leader. But I would say that she is our national, sub-national woman leader, the woman who leads the woman, the mother of all mothers. The young people will say the mother that mother their mother. Please, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome to the stage for her keynote address, Her Excellency Dame Pauline Tallen, former Minister for Women Affairs. Please, a round of applause for this indefatigable woman, a voice for women in Nigeria.
Thank you. Beautiful Nigerian women, great Nigerian women, are you great? If you are great, you must love one another. You must support one another. You must be your sister's helpmate to lift her hand up. That is the crux of the matter. the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Mother of the Nation, our very dear mother, Her Excellency, Distinguished Senator Oluremi Tinubu, the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs, Iman Suleiman, a great and action minister, the Minister of State, Education, who has just also stepped out now, and who gave us a very powerful message. You will agree with me that as we canvass for more women representation, more women participation, we cannot do it alone. We need the men. That's why the United Nations advocated for the he for she. And the greatest hero tonight, I say tonight, this afternoon in this hall, are the men that are here with us. And I give a thumb up to the national chairman of IPAC, whose wisdom has led to the initiation of the Directorate for Women. Alhaji Yusuf Dantele, we celebrate you. We thank you. Nigerian women, please give him a big round of applause. We need more of your type in all the political parties as national chairman to be able to carry women and make a difference, because if women are not in the party structure, we can get nowhere. Our distinguished senator representing the FCT, Senator Ireti Kinkube, the President, National Council of Women's Societies, Princess Edna, we celebrate you. We celebrate the representative of our national chairman, the chairman of the greatest party, the APC. We celebrate you. We celebrate and acknowledge the presence of the representative of the DG NIPS. And that is the highest institute in Nigeria that addresses critical national issues. And for them to support and sponsor this program of breaking barriers, of ensuring women inclusivity, that is apt and very, very serious and very important. It is left for us, the women here, to grab this opportunity and run with it. My most distinguished senator and the latest pro-chancellor, distinguished Senator Binto Masi, you know she's the only senator that has served as member House of Reps and a senator in 2 different states. Please give her a big round of applause. The representative of the Minister of State, FCT, we appreciate you. Please take back our love. I wish I can acknowledge each one of you gathered here. You are all very, very special. The woman of the day, my dear sister, the Deputy National Woman Leader of the party, the Executive Secretary and also Deputy Secretary of IPAC, who is the coordinator and convener of this program with the chairman IPAC and DG NIPS. I celebrate you all. It is a time to talk hard to ourselves. It is not time for us to come and be screaming and celebrating ourselves. Great Nigerian women, we talk, hey, and when we leave here, it's over. You heard what the Minister of Education, State Education said. Politics, every politics is local. You heard what the President NCWS said. Every politics is local. You must start from the grassroots. Don't just hang around in Abuja and be singing and jumping. you must get back to your constituency. Be part of your constituency. Identify with them at good and bad times. We are lucky for the first time in the history of Nigeria to have a president who is a true politician or a born politician, a strategist. If you look at the history and the background of all our past presidents, you will agree with me that our sitting president is a true politician who fought during the Nadeko period, who fought for the inclusion of women. He's the first governor that appointed a woman as deputy governor when I was minister during Obasanjo in 1999. He believes in that, and that's why he gave his wife the necessary support. And she's been in the House of Reps and in the Senate 4 times. So he believes and knows what it means, and he believes in the leadership of women, and that's why it starts from home. This is the time we want to see him do it for Nigerian women, and we can do it through our great party. IPAC has started a good job. The leading party, the ruling party, should lead by example. I'm trying to speak off the cuff, but I must present my keynote address because it's burning in my heart. Let me begin by expressing my deep appreciation for the invitation extended to me and for the honor of being the keynote speaker at this landmark conference team, breaking the barriers and shaping positive attitudes towards inclusive politics in Nigeria. I commend IPAC leadership and others who convened this forum for dialogue on the critical issues of dismantling political barriers against women and promoting gender mainstreaming in Nigerian politics. I give you a heartfelt pat on the back, IPAC, for what you are doing, and the theme is both timely and relevant. This conference could not have come at a better time than this. I sincerely commend the Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, for the laudable and wise decision to appoint my dear sister Hajia Zainab Ibrahim, the APC Deputy National Woman Leader, as IPAC Deputy National Secretary and Executive Director of the Women's Affairs Directorate. Please give her a big round of applause. In their wisdom, they know what they are doing. Alhaji Yusuf Dantele is throwing the card to the biggest party in Nigeria and in Africa. They are showing us that they are ready, and we, the ruling party, should lead by example. We have the greatest number of governors in the country. We have the largest number of senators, House of Reps, and down to the state and local government level. If we include women, we're done. Once the leader of our great party does that, other parties will follow suit. So we must lead by example. And this is the time, because we have the right person as president and the right woman as the mother of the nation, who is a practical politician and who has the heart of women at heart. I am sure there must be a very serious reason why she's not here, because I know her love for women and children. And wherever she is hearing us. Our mother, distinguished Senator Oluremi Tinubu, we are calling on you as a true mother to ensure that you make a difference during your time, that you get our political parties to include and carry women. Not just 35%, we're demanding for 50-50. The twinning method. Other small African countries have done it. Namibia has done it. Rwanda has even exceeded it. Gambia has done it. Dakar has done it. Name it. These are small African countries, and they all look up to Nigeria. Nigeria, we call ourselves the giant of Africa. How can you be giant of Africa without showing the example? You've heard what our senator has said. The world is fast moving, and the world is changing very fast. There is no representation at the international level that will be accepted without the inclusion of women. So it's a wake-up call for Nigeria. We either do it or we will be disgracing ourselves at the international fora. I don't believe that our dear president and our dear mother, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, will accept this. Given our Deputy National Women Leader and Executive Director of IPAC, given her outstanding track record and virtuous leadership, I consider her appointment a perfect fit. Indeed, it is a round peg in a round hole. To all the women here present and those unable to attend, I congratulate us all on the milestones achieved in our ongoing struggle for the rights of women and girls. These efforts have yielded commendable progress in women's participation in politics and leadership, both nationally and globally. However, we must not become complacent. Rather, we should advance with renewed vigor, like a rocket launched into space on a new mission, leaving no stone unturned in the quest to achieve full inclusion of women in the political leadership landscape. My clarion call today is that the time has come for women to be more adequately represented and have a stronger voice in Nigeria's political space, particularly in executive decision-making, legislation, and other critical areas of inclusive governance that leave no one behind. From my personal political experience spanning over 3.5 decades, I have come to realize that deeply rooted gender bias in our societal norms, cultural beliefs, and institutional structures continue to inhibit women's political advancement. This is deeply unfortunate, highly regrettable, and absolutely unacceptable. In this address, I will first reflect on the multitude of gender barriers that women face, examine them critically, and then explore ways we can collectively work to reshape attitudes and achieve inclusive politics. I will offer practical, realistic strategies for enhancing the role of Nigerian women in political leadership. The measures I propose include stronger anti-harassment laws and policies, equitable campaign financing, independent grievance mechanism, gender equality funding and training, and accessible childcare, among others. These interventions will provide valuable takeaways for all stakeholders at this milestone conference. I will conclude by sharing my final thoughts and recommendations, as well as my vision for a future in which women play a more prominent role in Nigerians' politics. I will end with a call for collaborative action, identifying concrete steps that individuals and organizations can take to promote inclusive politics for women. What is then politics, and what are political parties? Politics is essentially the process by which groups of people come together to make decisions and exercise power. It encompasses a broad range of activities related to governance, the distribution of resources, and the management of conflict and cooperation within and between societies. Thus, politics is a fundamental element of human society. It provides the structure for collective decision-making and organization through platforms such as political parties. Political parties are vehicles through which citizens can organize themselves to participate in governance. They are formally structured groups of individuals who share similar ideologies and seek to influence public policy by contesting elections and gaining control of government. Political parties recruit and nominate candidates. Are you hearing me? Political parties recruit and nominate candidates, mobilize voters, and encourage citizens' participation. such as they serve as essential bridges between government and the people, forming the bedrock of any democratic system. How then can we have political parties without having women in these structures? In this system, it cannot work. Once women are not in the party structure, they are forgotten as far as elective office are concerned. Because the men will always fight to protect their interests. Chairman IPAC, we appreciate what you are doing. The chairman of the largest party in the nation, I hope you are listening. And I believe you are a he for she. And I believe you love your mother. I believe you love your wife. I believe you love your daughters. We are not talking about ourselves today. We are talking about our children and those yet unborn. If you don't do it for the Nigerian women, you are committing a suicide for your own daughters. God forbid. We want our daughters to be better than us. And I pray that you will realize and think, for any good acts you do to uplift a woman, you are doing a favor to yourself. Because destiny will favor you. Life is a mirror. It reflects back. If you do good, you see good. If you lift a woman, encourage her and support her, God has a way to pay it back through your own generation. Take this message to all the men. I believe the representative of DG Needs is listening, and he is taking, he is a believer in it. That's why he's part of this conference. Women play a vital and effective role in political campaigns. Without women in any political campaign, there's no way we can have the required votes that will lead to anybody being pronounced as the president or governor or senator or any member, because you must have some two-thirds requirements that enables you to become the president or the vice president. Who are those that mobilize these votes? It's women. Their involvement is key in mobilizing communities, building personal connections with voters. Only women can go into various homes at night to talk to the women in Puda, to go and canvass for votes, and they will come out the following day. It's only women that can reach out with the palliatives that will make them remember that, yes, we need to come out and vote for this person. Politics is ultimately a game of numbers. Women will have the numbers. And that's why I started by saying, we have the numbers. If only we will love and support ourselves. We don't need the men to do any extra work for us. Because with our numbers, we can dictate. If we are united and we love one another and we support one another, we can even decide who will be the president of this country. But how do you do it? You must be united. You must love one another. Don't condemn the men. It is our attitudes that allow things to go the way they go. The men use the strategy of enticing us with peanuts, cause us to fight among ourselves. If Zainab is contesting with Ireti, the men will come between them, cause confusion, and then want them to fight. Divide and rule, you know it. Why do you allow yourself to be used for divide and rule? It is time for you to realize that it is better to have a woman on that table. Because when she's at that table, she's not just talking about herself, she's talking about the family. She's talking about the husband, she's talking about the children, and the children includes both men and women. So the woman's position is that of the family, is that of the society. Her heart goes for the society and for the home. As the giant of Africa, we call ourselves the giant of Africa. Nigeria must lead the way in gender mainstreaming and dismantling gender bias in politics, we must urgently remove the formidable barriers of women political participation. Gender barriers in politics refer to the obstacles that disproportionately hinder women from equal participation and representation. These challenges are rooted in sociocultural norms and institutional structures. Overcoming them requires comprehensive, strategic, and multidimensional approaches. Working with the men. We are demanding for 50-50. We are talking about the twinning method. How do we do it? You must embrace working with the men. Don't condemn the men. The men can decide to finish us easily because we are more vulnerable for them to divide us. But if we now realize the need to use wisdom, to learn to work with them, encourage them, like the chairman IPAC, like DG NIPS, like our chairman of the biggest party, and almost more than 80% of the chairmen of the political parties are headed by men, isn't it? So how do you try to fight such people? Members of the National Working Committee, majority of them are men. Can you afford to fight them? Can you get your way if you fight them? So that slogan of no, no. With men together, we can make it. If only we love ourselves and appreciate ourselves and unite. Don't allow the man to divide you. Don't allow the man to cause any friction amongst you. We will get there. Breaking gender barriers. Gender barriers in politics refer to the obstacles that disproportionately hinder women from equal participation and representation. These challenges are rooted in sociocultural norms and institutional structures. Overcoming them requires comprehensive approach. One solution I will recommend is for all political parties to immediately amend their constitutions to create special seats for women. As we approach 2027 general elections, parties should mandate the allocation of at least 50% of appointments and elective positions to women. It is possible. Other African countries have done it. And that's why what we call the twinning method. If the man is the chairman, the deputy is a woman. If the man is the secretary, the deputy secretary is the woman. Right to the list. They've done it in other countries. It's working. Why can't we do the same thing? Elective positions to women. What is popularly known or called the zebra policy, which is 50-50 pairing of male and female candidates. I've told you, Rwanda has exceeded it. And that's why when you go to Rwanda, you will not believe you are in Africa. Rwanda has developed so fast because more women are on the decision table. You can't take it from a woman. A woman's concern is about her family. And what is the family? The family includes men and women. The husband and the children could be 3 girls, 3 boys. No mother will sleep with her children sleeping hungry. No woman can sleep if her children cannot go to school. Name it, it's endless. So, if we want positive national development, 50-50 is just the answer. Having women on the decision table is the right thing to and the right way to go. Global perspective. In challenging these biases and changing societal attitudes, we are not only investing in gender equality, we are building a future where every person can strive regardless of gender. We are not just talking about women, but everyone. When we say 50-50, we are saying 50 men, 50 women. And that was why God created the woman in the first place. If God saw that the man can do it all by himself, he wouldn't have created the woman. And how can you imagine a world without a woman? Can you imagine a world without a woman? No procreation, nothing, no life. Women are the spice of life. And that was why Adam could not smile. Adam was like a maroon. until God sent him to sleep and removed his right hand side of the rib and created the woman. So without the woman, we cannot have a functional society. We cannot have a developing nation, a developed nation. According to the latest data from the Interparliamentary Union, IPU, women make up only 27.2% of parliamentarians globally. In Africa, the average is about 27%. Hey, but in Nigeria, unfortunately, the giant of Africa fares far worse, with only 4.2% of its National Assembly being women. I feel like crying. Placing us among the bottom 5 countries globally. Nigeria is at the bottom, the 5th bottom globally. We currently have only 17 women out of 109. 17 women out of 360 in the House of Representatives, and only 4. One is here. 4 out of 109. I don't want to talk about that. It's sad. And it's heartbreaking. By contrast, Europe and North America average 35.4%, with countries like Sweden 45.6%, Finland 45.5%, and Denmark with 44.7%. Doing even better. The Caribbean has an average of 42.5%, and South American countries like Argentina, Brazil, and Colombia average about 32%. Rwanda leads globally, with women occupying 64% of parliamentary seats. In Southeast Asia, the average is about 23%. Only 6 countries have achieved 50% or more women in parliament. Rwanda 64%, Cuba 56%, Nicaragua 55%, Andorra, Mexico, and the UAE 50%. So it's not about religion. If UAE can achieve 50%, Nigerians, what are we talking about? Cultural barriers, religion, and name it. It is not true. There is no religion that debars a woman from participating or contributing her quota towards national development. I've been to Indonesia, I've been to Pakistan, and they have more women in the parliament and in the executive. When I visited Pakistan to represent Mr. President in the year 2002, they had 8 women as ministers. 5 of them were in the airport to receive me. And the stories are on and on. These are pure Islamic countries, and yet we have higher percentage of women participating in politics. So the issue of religion, please. I'm sure, Mr. Chairman, you are agreeing with me. Thank you. As of April 2025, only 28 out of 195 countries have a female head of state or government. Just 29%. Through this, though progress is being made, many countries, including Nigeria, are still yet to witness women arise to the highest political office. We are yet to witness a woman to become a governor in Nigeria. What a shame. We are yet to have a woman as a speaker. We had it just few. You know what happened to my dear sister, Honorable Ete? It was short-lived. We are yet to have a woman as Senate President. How? When we have only 4. But, like Martin Luther, he had a dream that one day, a black will rule America. And it came to pass, isn't it? So let us not lose hope. One day, the narratives will change. One day, as I said, we have a sitting president who is a true politician who can make it happen. All he needs to do is to do it through the political parties. That is the fastest way, and that is what other African countries do. The other one that this senator is talking about, through the National Assembly, that will only be a legal backing. But the immediate one that we need now is the action of the political parties. Political parties can allot seats and give that, once they include it in their constitution and there's a pronouncement, it is done. Am I right, Mr. Chairman, IPAC? Our prayers are with you, and we pray that God will touch the hearts of all our other presidential candidates. If we continue at the current pace, gender parity in the legislature may not be achieved for another 40 to 50 years. God forbid. We are positive. We are praying that God will make it happen. Gender bias remains the primary barrier. They prevent women from advancing into key decision-making roles and must be addressed urgently. According to the UNDP 2023 Gender Social Norms Index, which covers 85% of the global population, nearly 90% of people holding fundamental biases against women. In politics, 49% believe that men make better leaders. But it is left for us to look at it. You know what is happening in Senegal. You know what is happening in all the countries. During the COVID, statistics shows that countries that were headed by women perform better in addressing the COVID scenario. Women are mothers. They manage the home. They nurture the leaders. If a mother can nurture the best leader, why can't she not rule? To overcome this, we must disabuse the electorate of such biases and promote women's inclusion through persistent advocacy, especially in party leadership, elections, and appointments. We must also promote the UN Gender Equality Sustainability Development Goal, the SDG 5. I'm sure the representative of the UN Women are here. I'm sure you are aligning with us, and I pray that Nigeria will key in with the 17 goals of the United Nations, particularly SDG number 5, gender equality, which envisions a world free from discrimination and supports women's full participation in all areas of leadership. While other African countries have progressed, Nigeria is still lagging behind. But it's not late. We are believing and hoping that God will touch the hearts of our leaders and things will change for the better. This is unacceptable for a nation that should lead by example. President Bola Tinubu and the First Lady, our dear Remi Tinubu, a four-time legislator, House of Rep and four-time senator, an experienced politician, are strategically positioned to lead the charge for gender inclusion. God does not make a mistake. He brought them into office at a time like this for a purpose. And I believe that before President Bola Ahmed Tinubu leaves office, that this dream can be achieved. It is possible. Through our able mother of the nation, the First Lady, who works and speaks behind the scene with her passion for women and children, it is achievable. Mr. President, a former pro-democracy activist with the challenge and golden opportunity to leverage this excellent rapport with an influence on it, the ruling party should urgently do the needful. Representative of Mr. Chairman, I'm sure you are taking notes. Political parties must therefore ensure that women hold 50% of leadership positions from national right to the local levels. Party constitution must reflect this commitment, reserving half of elective and appointed positions to women. Grassroots engagement is key. We must involve traditional rulers, religious leaders, and community stakeholders to change their mindset at this local level. Government must therefore enforce existing gender policies, including CEDAW and the National Gender Policy. The 35% affirmative action target must be fully implemented and ideally increase to 50%. We must also eliminate political violence and intimidation by strengthening law enforcement to protect women in politics. National awareness campaign should be launched to combat harmful stereotypes and promote positive portrayals of female leaders in the media. Nigeria should learn from our countries that have achieved 50% female representation and foster international partnerships that promote peace, security, and gender inclusion. Female candidates should be supported with dedicated funds and grants to run effective campaigns. Civil society and women's groups must be empowered to provide mentorship and training. I'm happy my sister Ene Obi and other Ene Ede is here, Ene Obi is here, and so many civil society organizations who have been working around the clock to support women inclusion and address the harassment of women, thuggery, and political violence against women. We appreciate all the good works you are doing. We pray that you will continue to stand and fight for the cause of women and fight against anything that touches a woman. Nigeria should learn from countries that have achieved 50% representation and foster international partnership. Female candidates should be supported with dedicated funds. Mentorship programs connecting experienced and aspiring female politicians must be established. Strong alliances with allies will also be vital in creating a supportive political system. The representative of the deputy governor of Ogun State that was sitting next to me, Abiola, she reminded me she was my mentee in 1995. And today I'm proud to have my mentee as a special advisor to the president. Our prayer is that our mentees should rise to take our place or even do better than us in the future. So every woman here must lift up another woman's hand. If we do that, we are creating a better world for ourselves. Women must be empowered through education and skill development to boost their leadership capacity and enable them to campaign effectively, speak publicly, and engage in policy making. In conclusion, Nigeria can break its persistent gender barriers by implementing these action points. The president and the ruling party must take the lead by example in this historic cause. Finally, the take-home for women for a future political success story is for us to love one another, to support one another, to lift each other's hand, and work together with a sincere heart. When you support a woman to go up, it doesn't stop you from being great yourself. When you lift up a woman, you are invariably creating upliftment for yourself. I am a practical, I've told this story to many people. My colleague, during the Abacha's regime, we were both commissioners. I don't know whether most of you know Senator Iyabo Anisha-Lowu. We were commissioners with her in 1994 to 96. And we led a delegation to come and see the First Lady, who is my old mentor. I was able to do the connection because she's my old girl from Government Girls College, Dala. So we were able to get audience to see our First Lady, who has done so much for Nigeria, Hajiya Mariam Abacha. She is the first that created the Ministry of Women Affairs. Herself and Mariam Babangida, they've done so much for Nigerian women, and they've left legacy that we can never forget them. We went to see her and appeal to her to talk to the president to create more seats for women. We said we are ready as women commissioners. We want to see more women as ministers. Let her put in a word for any of us or anybody outside, as long as she's a woman, in any state, to be included. 3 weeks after that, the president had not appointed his ministers. 3 weeks after that, I was sitting and watching the TV. I had Iyabo's name pronounced as Minister of State. Appointed as minister, the portfolios were not announced. I jumped. This was around 9:30. I jumped. I was so excited. I called my driver. I ran to Rayfield Government House and fell before my governor. I said, please. And you know, military time. Immediately they announced that they were doing the swearing in the following day. I was dancing as if I was the one. I was so excited. I begged the governor, please, my friend has been appointed as a minister. I must be in Abuja for the swearing in. Hey! My governor said, okay. I had already appointed, that time Nasarawa was under Plateau, and our immediate past national chairman was our candidate for ministerial, Abdullahi Adamu. So his name sailed through. So the governor said, okay, I had appointed your colleague, the commissioner from Kefi, to go and represent me. Since you insist to go, 2 of you can go, represent me, and then support your friend. I was so happy. We came back home. I asked the driver, go and fuel, came back. We left Jos by 5 a.m. because we were supposed to be seated by 9. We got to the clearing house by the Villa Gate by 8:30. And we were cleared in. Our names were already sent. When we went in after I was more worried about my friend, the female that was made a minister, than my own minister from my state. I congratulated her, I ran back to her. She was standing, she didn't see me. I hugged her. When she turned and saw me, she screamed. Tears fell in her eyes. She hugged me and said, I am the only one that called her out of the 36 commissioners. And for this singular act that I've done, to be here and to be happy for her appointment, she prayed and blessed me that one day I will also be a minister. Few years after that, after Abacha died, we formed the PDP. And I was a founding member, and we acted. We worked round the clock and won the election. And when we won the election, I was the only woman that was nominated, because one of the very gender presidents, President Olusegun Obasanjo, sent letters to all the states and said that every state should nominate 3 people. And out of the 3, 1 must be a woman. Automatically, the 3 zones unanimously nominated my name. I was in Abuja serving on the Presidential Inauguration Committee. I was not home. They held the meeting in my senatorial zone and unanimously nominated my name to the state. The state endorsed it and sent it. Out of all the ministers that were sent, I was the only minister that was nominated from the grassroots to the state and to the federal. There were only 2 states that did that, Plateau and Ogun State, because the president had to work by example. And it was Titi Ajanaku that was nominated for her. May her soul rest in peace. She's dead now. She was then our national woman leader. Titi Ajanaku was nominated. Unfortunately, she couldn't make it for the ministerial because the constitution says we cannot have the president and the minister from the same local government. So that was how Titi Ajanaku's name was stepped down from minister to special advisor. What am I trying to say? If you are happy for your sister's upliftment, God open doors for you. I support women from all political, as long as a woman is working, she is contesting, I'm there for her. Ireti is here, I supported her. I'm not a Labour Party. But we supported women across just because we wanted to have more women. Nigerian women, be happy for your fellow woman's upliftment. When you're happy and you support women, God will open doors for you. So love one another, support one another, and let's be united. Let us stop deceiving ourselves. Great Nigerian women, it's time for action. Support Nigerian women. Support one another. Do the right thing and God will bless you. Thank you.
Keep appreciating her. Keep appreciating her. The keynote address was robust and timely. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, the former Minister for Women Affairs. Yes. Thank you very much. Let's appreciate her once again. We have gone way beyond our time. So we're going to do this in the next 20 minutes. We should be done with this session. But please, we have 3 other people that would want to give goodwill message to 2 minutes. Now we'll give
we have to unveil. We apologize because we kept the distinguished senator, yes, who has more engagements to do. We saw how most of our ministers came in and went out. Today is a busy day for almost everybody. So we will do the unveiling by our distinguished senator, who will be assisted by the other distinguished senator, once a senator, forever a senator, Senator Binta Garba, and then the representative of the Honorable Minister of State, FCT, and the representative of the APC National Chairman. Thank you very much. I will also like to acknowledge the presence of the representative of the MD, First Bank, Honorable Hama, who is here with us. A round of applause. It means that we are serious about financial inclusion. Thank you very much.
Yeah, the MacArthur Foundation.
May I invite Dr. Kola Shetima from the MacArthur Foundation to please join in the unveiling. You're welcome, sir.
IPAC executive, national executive, please come and join this, please.
See a marked improvement in women representation in Nigeria. I unveil this plan. Now, well, so let's take pictures with it. Dr. Kola Shetima is right there. They should give him one. strategic plan is therefore unveiled and ready for implementation.
Can we appreciate the Senator for doing us the honors of unveiling? Okay. Thank you very much. We will now go straight to some goodwill messages. I'll please plead with you to take just two minutes for the goodwill message. So we have Mrs. Beatrice Ayon, the UN Women Country Director, who is here represented by Mr. Zephaniah Aura, to come and give her goodwill message. After him, we're going to take the representative of the Minister of State for FCT, and after her, we'll take Dr. Stanley Upia from DRPC, who will also give his goodwill message. So we'll take it in that order. You're welcome.
Good afternoon.
Please, can we settle down? Let's settle down, please. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon. Allow me to Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, please allow me to align.
Be done with this session. Women leaders, can we please settle down? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Three things came out strongly. One is that politics is at the grassroots. And number two, a delegation is not complete unless there is women in those delegations. And therefore, as UN Women, we will continue to invest in enhancing personal resilience and professional development of women to increase their contribution in leadership, economic growth, peace, security, and humanitarian nexus. UN Women believes that investing in a woman equals to investing in the architecture of the society, for we do know that no nation can develop and prosper if women are excluded. Our support to the Nigerian democratization process. Please, can we, our support is guided by shared value, mutual respect, and common vision of the government and the people of Nigeria. As this great nation enters another historic phase in reviewing its 1999 constitution, we count on all of you as women of virtue to dial up and deploy your soft skills in leadership, coordination, communication, advocacy, and lobbying so that the gender gaps can be, the gender agenda can be conversed and constitutional gender quota is adapted for elective and appointed positions across the Federation. As you are aware, the Joint Committee of the National Assembly is in the process of concluding the draft special bill, and this bill will be validated through zonal and state level constitutional public hearings. UN Women is committed and is already collaborating with the National Assembly, the committee, and also with women rights movement and civil society to make sure that no Nigerian woman is left behind and is given an opportunity to submit her view during those zonal constitutional public hearings. We are already planning to support convenings in 24 states across the Federation, and therefore we'll be reaching out to you through your respective structures so that we can partner in this together. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that goodwill message from the UN Women Country Director. Please permit me to welcome the representative of the Minister of State for FCT for her own goodwill message. Can we appreciate the Minister? She's been patient, she waited, and she's here to give us her goodwill message. Thank you very much for your patience.
Her Excellency, the First Lady of the Nation, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, who is ably represented. Distinguished Senator representing FCT, Ireti Kingibe, who just stepped out. The Minister of Women Affairs, Iman Ibrahim. The Minister of Education, Suwaiba Said. The former Minister of Women Affairs, Momi Pauline Thailand. The Deputy Governor of Organised, who is ably represented, the Director General, National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, NIPS, Kuru, Professor Ayo Omotayo, the National Chairman, IPAC, Alaji Yusuf Dantale, the Executive Director, Directorate of Women Affairs, and Deputy National Woman Leader, Hajia Zainab Ibrahim, who is the convener of the event. Permit me to stand on the well-existing protocol. I am Majid Adamu Kuku, SA to the Honorable Minister of State for FCT, Dr. Mariam Mahmoud, who is unavoidably absent, attending to some national assignments. I have a goodwill message here. It is with great honor and a deep sense of responsibility that I join you at this important occasion as a special guest at the two-day capacity building conference of the Women Directors of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, led by dynamic Hajia Zainab Ibrahim in collaboration with the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies. This timely gathering under the theme, Breaking Barriers and Shaping Positive Attitudes for Inclusive Politics in Nigeria, underscore our shared commitment to promoting inclusive governance by empowering women with the tools, voice, and platform they need to shape the future of our democracy. As we unveil the 2024-2028 Action Plan and integrate state chapters, we must be reminded that the participation of women in politics is not a privilege, but a right and a necessity. Our political space must reflect the richness of our diversity. True development cannot be achieved when half of the population remain underrepresented. I commend the organizers and Her Excellency, the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, for lending her voice and presence to this cause. Let us lead influence. Let us continue to break barriers and build a nation where every woman can lead, influence, and make lasting change. Thank you, and I wish all a fruitful conference.
Thank you very much. Let's appreciate the Honorable Minister. Thank you for keeping to time. I would like the last two speakers to also please keep to time. Please, I would like to welcome now Dr. Stanley Upaya from DRPC for his own goodwill message. Thereafter, we will take the representative of the INEC chairman. She will round this session up. You're welcome, sir.
Excellencies, distinguished participants, allow me to stand on existing protocol because we are bereft of time. Esteemed guests, it is with honor that I represent the Development Research and Project Center today, and I bring greetings from our Executive Director, Dr. Judith Ann Walker. This conference for women political leaders themed Breaking Barriers and Shaping Positive Attitudes for Inclusive Politics in Nigeria is a commendable one, and we commend the organizers for convening this vital dialogue aimed at empowering women and fostering inclusivity in our political landscape. Last year, the Development Research and Project Center launched a research output titled Gender Norms, Media Narratives, and Women in Appointive Positions in Nigeria. We're hoping that at some point during the panel session, some of the findings will be touched upon. But as we gather here to share insight and experiences, it's crucial for us to reflect on some of these research findings, which highlights the pressing need for increased female representation in political leadership roles. Our findings reveal that while women in Nigeria possess the potential and capabilities to lead, systemic barriers continue to hinder their full participation. And some of these barriers we're hoping in the course of this meeting would be addressed. But as we engage in discussions in the next 2 days, let us remember that breaking barriers is not just about increasing numbers. It's about fostering an environment where diverse voices are heard and valued. The DRPC stands committed to supporting initiatives that promote inclusivity in politics and empowering women to take their rightful place in leadership. Together, let us shape a future where women are not just participants in the political process, but also at the forefront of decision-making, driving policies that reflect the needs and aspirations of all Nigerians. Thank you very much, and I wish you all a productive and inspiring conference.
Thank you very much. That was a very, very brief, but very, very incisive and goodwill message. Thank you very much. So to round this session up, please join me to welcome the representative of the chairman, INEC, to give her own goodwill message. I can't hear you welcoming her. Please let's welcome her. We're almost done. We will soon be done.
Dear Excellencies and the organizers of this program, please permit me to stand on the already strongly established protocol to enable me meet up with time. I'm glad that today this meeting is holding. We participated in the Lagos meeting earlier mentioned and observed the inauguration of the Women Directorate and the review of the IPAC Constitution. I'm happy today action plan has been launched and looking forward to seeing teaming support for its implementation. Good afternoon, everyone. I want to tender the apology of my chairman for not being able to be here, but he has directed me and I have his speech, so I'll read it. It is with great honor and a deep sense of commitment to our nation's democratic ideals that I extend warm greetings and commendations to the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, the Directorate for Women Affairs, and the Interparty Advisory Council for convening this timely, crucial conference on breaking barriers and shaping positive attitudes for inclusive politics in Nigeria. The theme of this gathering aligns strongly with the aspiration of the Independent National Electoral Commission to foster truly inclusive, participatory, and accountable democratic process in Nigeria. As we all recognize, the strength of any democracy lies not only in the conduct of periodic elections, but also in the inclusivity of its process and equitable representation of its people, particularly women, who constitute nearly half of the Nigerian population. The focus on women's political leadership, political leaders, and the need to institutionalize behavior change approach highlights a critical pathway to addressing systemic challenges such as discrimination, political violence, and underrepresentation that continue to hinder women's full participation in our political space. As the electoral umpire, ANEC is committed to promoting gender-inclusive policies and ensuring a level playing field for all political actors, regardless of gender. Our gender policy, as well as our continual engagement with stakeholders, aims to dismantle structural barriers and create opportunities for women to thrive in political leadership and governance. I commend the efforts of Nigerian women who have demonstrated resilience, courage, and excellence in leadership, even in the face of significant challenges. Your presence here today is a testament to the unwavering spirit of progress. I urge you to keep pushing the boundaries, mentoring others, and taking your rightful place in the political arena. I wish you all fruitful and impactful conference. May the ideals exchanged here today translate into concrete actions that will break barriers and shape a more inclusive democratic future for our nation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There's no way we will conclude this program without hearing the voice of INEC, so that they will register our parties, isn't it? All right, so thank you very much. Let's appreciate her once again. So by way of announcement, as we round up the opening session, I have been directed to inform us that tomorrow's venue for this program will be at the Rees Continental Hotel. It's not going to be here. It's going to be at Rees Continental Hotel. So the second session tomorrow will be at Rees Continental. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for being here. And to round up the opening session is a vote of thanks by Barrister Maxwell Mbudem, National Secretary, Interparty Council, IPAC, and National Chairman, Accord Party. So can we have the goodwill, the vote of thanks? Thereafter, the group photograph will be outside, and then we'll have our tea break. Tea break is for 30 minutes, and then we come back for the next session. Thank you very much.
No woman, no woman, and no man. Your Excellency, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is unavailably absent, distinguished senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, those that are here present, the Honorable Ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellencies here present, the Honorable National Chairman of IPAC, Alhaji Yusuf Dantele, and members of the IPAC ESCO. Please kindly permit me, Your Excellencies, to stand on a well-established protocol. First and foremost, the Council extends its profound appreciation to Her Excellency, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is not here with us, but her commitment to gender inclusion and political participation of women is not only commendable, but also inspirational. She has demonstrated through her actions that women are not just participants in the political landscape of our nation, but also the pivotal architects in politics in Nigeria and beyond this nation, the boundaries of this nation. Your Excellencies and distinguished special guests, we appreciate your time for being here and for making this conference a success. We appreciate all of you. And to our facilitators, especially NIFs, our institutional partners, and who is represented by Alhaji Suleiman Mohammed, MNI, the speakers, partners, the organizing committee, and our able members of the IPAC Women Directorate, and our own dear Aja, who have today shown capacity and capability. We commend you people. Your hard work, insight, and dedication is making this event a success. You have ignited conversation that must continue beyond this room. Our esteemed women, leaders, and stakeholders, thank you for showing up, speaking up, and standing tall. Your voices have echoed wisdom, resilience, and the unrelenting drive for a more inclusive democratic space. This gathering has reinforced that the future of Nigeria and Nigeria politics cannot and must not be written without the ink of women's contribution. Yeah. And to some of us that have traveled far and near, we appreciate your presence and engagement. And our prayer as a council is that may the seeds sown today yield transformative progress in our political journey. Together, let us continue to push the boundaries, challenge the norms, and create a Nigeria where leadership knows no gender. We thank you all, because all of us are here to make a difference and to transform this nation. Thank you. And as you journey home, for those of us that are outside Abuja here, our prayer as a council is that may the good Lord lead you successfully to our respective homes. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was the vote of thanks. May I request that we rise for the national anthem? We'll just take the first stanza of the national anthem, please. Okay, we can sing the first stanza now. Thank you very much. So let's break for the tea, and then please return in the next